Hey guys, welcome back. Coding time again. If you have followed my channel for a bit of time, you may know that I have been working on the Laravel 9 project, which is a short URL service. This is just for demonstration or experiment purpose, so not production ready. But in my previous video, I have completed the first version of it. It can allow user to create some short URL based on the original one. So if you are not familiar with this project, feel free to check out my previous video by clicking the link or information card at the top right corner. So today I'm going to add more features to it. Long story short, so we are going to allow users to generate a QR code for the long URL. So two options for the users then to share: your short URL or QR code. Okay, let's start. As we are using PHP to develop the application, I'm looking for some existing PHP package that can generate a QR code for me. So I found this one. So it's called, the name is php-qrcode. Step 1, we need to install. We use this command composer required to install the package. This is also what I just did before this video. So I installed the package. Now it's time to use it. If you're looking for more advanced usage of this package, you can click the wiki link here to see. I'm not sure if it's okay. It should be this one, advanced usage. So this is how you can use more features of the package. Okay, after installation, let's look into the code base. In the short URL controller, I implement a new function called getQRCode, in which it will accept a request with input token. So the client side need to pass the token to server side. The controller will look for the long URL with this token and generate the QR code. And where should I store the QR code? I build the image path in this way, so I'll store it in the public folder. The image will be named with a token. In my case, I generate it in the SVG type. So two classes from the package, QR code and the QR options, will be used. So in my case, the output is set to SVG. You can also change to PNG or JPG if you need. With the option, we can create the QR code generator now. By passing the long URL and the full image path, we can render or generate the SVG QR code. The SVG file will be stored under the full path specified location. Okay, so this is how we can use the existing package to generate the QR code, and it's stored in public folder, which means it can be public accessible, so we don't need to set up any additional route for image access purpose. As we have completed implementation in the controller, it's time to go to the web.php to set up a new route. In my case, it's a get route under /short URL /QR code. it will call the get QR code function of the controller. Now we have the root and the controller set up. Before we move on to client side, we need to update a class called short URL resource. This is created in previous video. So this is to transform the original short URL model to a client-side friendly data array. Essentially, we don't need to expose everything to the client side for some security concern. So in this case, we can see there are two more properties exposed to the client side or in the data array. First thing is a token. So the client side need to use a token to make the API call so that it can generate a QR code. The other one is the existing QR code. Following the same method to build the QR code path under public folder with token name .svg. So this is a full QR code path. If the file exists, return the relative URL of that SVG image so that we can use the image tag on the front end. Otherwise, we return null. Okay, that's the short URL resource class. Now it's time to move on to the client side. The view component index.view is responsible for our short URL page rendering. Now, let's see. Two new columns. Actually, sorry, one. One column, QR code. Two options. Render a button or the QR code image. We are looking for the QR code property from the data exposed from the server side, which is the short URL resource defined. So if it doesn't exist or if it's null, we will render a button here called QR code. Otherwise, we will display the image here. On this button QR code, we register a click handler with generate QR code function. This function accepts the token from the data. So we look into the generate QR code function and make the inertia get request to /shorturl/QR code with data token. So this is how we make the API call or inertia call to the new root. Okay, that's pretty much it. So when the request is received by controller, it will look for the input, get a token, and then find a long URL, build a QR code. Then we redirect request to root short URL.index, which is essentially the home page of the short URL, or the page what we see here. Okay, I think that's all the code change I applied. Again, I will also commit the code and make a PR request so that the link will be put in the description, so you will know where to look into the details of the code change. Now let's see how it works. Now we have the page under the new column QR code. If we click, you can see the first long URL has a QR code display here. If you click the second one, it's generated. If we refresh a page, you should be able to see these two QR codes here. So the UI is not perfect. I'm going to make some design and tweaks to it so that it can be better. But for now, this is just for demonstration purpose. You will see what kind of package you should use to implement this kind of feature. and let me generate all the QR code for them. Okay, that's how we can generate it. Okay, the feature is completed. A couple things to mention before we wrap up for today. You should see that every time we generate or create a new instance of the QR options and the QR code, this is not very performant. We can consider to use some service provider to generate them just once. So that's the first thing. The other thing is that we need some improvement in the QR code location determination. So this is because we don't have a unique place to tell where the QR code is stored or should be stored. So multiple places with the same code. So this is something we definitely need to do the code refactoring. And the last thing I'd like to mention is the page update. This is just for demonstration purpose. So I simply redirect the request, the QR code generation request, back to the home page of the short URL. This is not very efficient. So which means in every QR code generation, the index page is re-rendered, or all the data is refetched from the database. All the QR code existence is checked as part of the short URL resource. So all these things are not efficient enough. So we definitely need to find a better way to improve. Okay, that can be some offline topic. So we don't need to do it now. Anybody interested, feel free to start working on your own and get improved. I think that's it for today. The key point is we should know what to do to generate some QR code for any text. In my case, this is to generate for the long URL. Okay, I think that's it for today. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.